everybody, it's your girl Karaleise. How you guys doing? So today we're talking about those performance reviews and those bonuses. So a lot of companies, either at the end of the year or the beginning of the year, they start looking back at your salary. And every employee expects to get a little bump up in their salary because, hey, the economy is rough and inflation and all these other things. But I always find it amazing how at this very time of year is when CEOs start sending out messages about how we did not meet fully our target, right? We meet some of it so that, so you don't scare employees that you're not making profit and they should be worried about their job. So you tell them just enough to keep them okay, but not enough for them to expect the raise that they deserve. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, this is the time for the CEO games. January, February, even March, April, I guess, depends on which company you're with and when their financial year ends and stuff like that. That's when all the games start to be played. This is when you're gonna get those emails that say, want to thank the team for all the hard work and how much they value you and you're a part of the family and everything is great. How we had a great year. We didn't meet all of our targets. They always say that they didn't meet all of their targets. They had a few big accounts here and there, but they were still short of the projected pipeline that they had for the year. And as a result, they really cannot give you all the money because they didn't meet some pipeline. But the thing about it is this, right? Who to tell if that goal that they set was even realistic? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know at all the full picture. Like, you could say that your goal for the year is $30 million, but you only made $12 million. And so, you fall short of your goal and we didn't make the target. But who told you that was a realistic target? You know what I'm saying? So they can always play this CEO game where they can always just inflate numbers and make up numbers out of thin air and then say they didn't meet that number. But the truth may be that the number that they did meet was a good profit margin. And the number that they did meet would allow them to pay you your money. Would allow them to give you the increase, right? But they'll never do it because, only certain people will really benefit from salary increases. And this is the reason why I always say, and I'm guilty of this too, so I need to take my own advice, that you should leave your company every 2 years. Because if you think you're going to stay there and do a good job and they're going to pay you whenever they make a profit, so that, you add to them making a profit. Because as a business analyst, you are instrumental to the success of a company you're working with, especially if it's a software development company. If you're working as a business analyst and the software is what they've purchased and you're helping to implement it, you're still instrumental because you're going to help them to be so efficient that they save money, they retain clients don't churn, patients don't get bad service and then leave, all kinds of good stuff that you're helping them to realize. It's very directly tied to your individual contribution. So when you do all this work for them to be efficient, and then they are efficient and they make the profit, and then the CEOs and top leadership get all the money and then come tell you some BS about how they did meet some goal that they probably just made up just for the email purposes. Right? One CEO said they only made 41% of their target, so they're going to give 41% of the amount they would have given as bonus. So it's not 41% of the profit, it's 41% of whatever they gave last year. So if last year you got $3,000 on your pay, you're getting 41% of that. So it's less. See what I mean? So this is the reason why when you work for companies, you have to remember that you're working for the man. Okay? There is a white man somewhere, and I don't mean to bring race into it, but let's just be real. the majority of CEOs of the world are white men over the age of 45. So there's a white man somewhere who is a CEO, and that's where all the money goes. Okay. And in the same breath, they'll tell you what their new initiatives are for the year, what they're planning to do, how they're planning to grow, what new features they're going to do. So they always have enough money for whatever the next thing is that they want to do, but they don't have enough money for you, the human capital that's going to make this happen. And this is why companies end up in this hole where they lose good talent, and they have to spend more money to acquire a new talent, and then spend more money to wait for that talent to get up to speed to where the person who left was, because you didn't value the persons that were there and you didn't treat them well, and they have to leave you to go to another company to make that 10,000, 20,000 increase in their salary. See, that's the situation. And if you are a very successful person and you're very high performing, you get punished. The punishment is that you get more work to do. So you're doing the most already, and then because you're doing the most so well, they give you more. And then when it's time for pay time, you hear some bullshit story about how we didn't meet some number that we weren't supposed to meet. Anyway, right? So that's the situation. That is the norm. And this has happened to a lot of people. It's happened to me. It's happened to my friends. It's like, I don't know anybody in corporate who this is not the story that they have this year. I don't know anybody in corporate who's not getting the same email from the CEOs. We're all getting the same emails. If you have a different experience, a different email this year, where your CEO is saying, hey, we made so much profit, we're going to increase the salaries by this amount across the board because we're making so much money, let me know. Because you would be the anomaly. Okay, everybody out here complaining about this numbers, but who told them to put up that number? That's where I'm always stuck. Like, not because you made 20 million last year mean that you need to make 40 million this year. Like, these numbers are coming out of thin air. And sometimes salespeople just inflate their pipelines because they have to sound good, keep their job, and then they can't actually make it happen. So it's a lot of guesswork that goes into it, and they can always hide the real profits that they have made. You know what I mean? They're not cutting back on some of the unnecessary expenses that top leadership is doing. A lot of times they don't. Sometimes they do, but a lot of times they don't. So I get disillusioned when work time and performance time come. Everybody's rushing to get it done, and we're working on these very, very important projects. Like, if you work in healthcare, oh my God, everything you're working on is so important. You're literally saving lives if you work in healthcare. And then when you're saving lives with these efficiencies and how you can help get your information out to the patients and all these things that you do that have a ripple effect throughout the entire client base. And then when it's time for you to get paid, you're hearing some BS story about, some random number. Like, that is so unfair. That is so unfair. Even my friends in insurance, they're doing a very important job too. My friends in insurance, working as insurance BAs, helping people to make sure their claims are processed properly and all that stuff. That's very important, especially now when you have all these storms and all these things coming. I just find that our role is so important. Like, I see so much value in what we do as business analysts. I'm sure all the other roles feel the same way, but we do a very important thing. And so it's almost unfortunate that across the board, the CEOs are all looking at ways in which they can, like, stiff their employees. Right? The people are just, I don't know, when you become a business person, I think you just become more profit motivated and less people. And, you give lip service to it. Like, you talk about, we're a family and all that, but why don't pay your family? Since we're a family and we're working towards this one goal and we're all here together and all this togetherness stuff. But when it comes to the money being divided, top management gets all the money, all the perks, and they do very little of the actual on-the-ground work, which is fair. We expect them to not be in the details. because, somebody has to be at a higher level looking across the whole thing. But to stiff the people who are actually on the ground, it feels wrong to me. It feels wrong. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's how life is. All I can say is look out for that email if you haven't gotten it yet. And when you do get it, you'll see what I'm talking about, right? All of this excuse is going to come up right now. So you need to think about yourself. Everybody being selfish, you got to think about yourself. Where do you want to be in the next 2 years? Do you want to stay where you are? Or should you be learning as much as you can learn right here, right now, if you already have a job? So that in 2 years' time, you're making the next step. And you don't get comfortable and cushy and feel like you're secured. You're never secured. So you don't say, I'll fix my resume later. You look for the job when you don't need it, right? So 2 years, get your knowledge in, get your experience up, practice, learn, take on more responsibilities if it helps you to learn better. But know that you have to jump jobs to make the money. That's the state of the world. It's unfortunate. And if you're out there and you're trying to get a job, get started, this is still a good career, all right? You're always going to find this kind of thing in any career at all. But still, don't be discouraged. Get this job, get your money, and do the very same thing I just told the people who already have a job. Get your knowledge up, practice up, get some experience under your belt, and get ready to switch. Hello? Okay? That's the name of the game. The CEOs have their game. The employees have their game. So we're just out here playing the game. Squid Game everywhere. Okay? That's what the life is like in this corporate America. Okay? So there you have it. That's what I have to talk to you guys about today in this podcast. I'm still feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good today still. I have a lot of good things that I'm doing. I'm so proud of my members of the Back Office Club. As you guys know, I have started this membership program called the Back Office Club. You can find out more at www.backofficeclub.org, backofficeclub.org. And over there we have a membership program. Right now I'm going to be training on how to do stakeholder interviews. That's what we're going to be learning tonight. How to do stakeholder interviews, what questions to ask the stakeholders, how to conduct such an interview. And we're also going to be getting into the tool of Jira, where I'll be showing them how to use Jira, what Jira is, walking them through it, and getting the project set up. How would you set up a project for the project that we're going to be working on in our training for this month? So exciting stuff. Lots of learning, lots of exposure that you wouldn't get from your regular courses. So I encourage you to check out the backofficeclub.org. You can join as a member, where you have these regular live sessions and training and tools, and you can chat with each other, and you can also get access to the repository of documents, or you can just do a course. We have 6 courses right now on different topics. All the courses are in depth. Like, they take you from zero to fully knowing how to do it, and you have quizzes as a part of the course. You have downloadable documents. So you have a lot of materials to help support your learning. So if you just want to do a course, you can do that too. And of course, check out my YouTube channel. Hello, I have so much free content. In addition to what you pay for, you got a lot of value for free also. And remember to join my Global BA Stand-Up. It's a free session. You can find it on YouTube. You can join live on YouTube. You can go to karaleise.com and register, and you get a link to my meeting invite. So you can join the meeting and ask your question, and I will answer it live for you on the first Monday of every month. That's the Global BA Stand-Up. So excited about that. I love helping people. I love sharing my knowledge. I love just knowing that I can put something out there and it can register in your brain that you're listening to this right now, and you can use it in your job. You can apply it right away. You know what I'm saying? I love that. It's amazing. I'm so happy I have all of these platforms that I can reach people that I wouldn't have had otherwise. So check out the backofficeclub.org, and I look forward to also hanging out with you again in these podcasts. So go check out my other podcast episodes too. So many good stuff. So I look forward to more episodes like these where I can share my knowledge with you. And yeah, thank you so much for listening to this, and take care. Bye bye.